Hey, we're streaming live on the internet. Oh my gosh. Welcome to the show, everyone. It's the Crypto Lark. Today, we're going to be going through all kinds of fun stuff of what is going on in crypto land. We're going to be discussing my portfolio, ideas behind why I have built my portfolio the way I've built my portfolio, all of that and so much more as we go in and kind of dive into that. Welcome to the chat, everybody. Mr. Harry Lazani and Phaedro in the house. We're going to be talking about some of the market movements, also some other things. I wanted to discuss a little bit about the petro today, and we're also going to be talking about a few other Bitcoin related things too, as well as crypto backed fiat money, so to speak. Well, crypto backed banknotes, I should say. So we're going to hop into all that, guys. But welcome everybody. Markets are doing good enough today, I suppose. It's we're still on that slow but steady trend back upwards. I hope we'll, of course, see some new all-time highs here over the summer. I'm pretty confident that we will, but time will tell what the market demands. Some updates on the channel for you guys. Currently, I am going to have a couple fun interviews for you this week. I'm interviewing some venture capitalists, so that's going to be pretty interesting to get their perspective on the whole market. So we'll get some great questions coming down from those guys. I'm going to be talking to the team from Proppy. So that's been a long one in the coming, but we're finally sitting down and talking to Natalia from Proppy, so that'll be really cool. And later in the week, we'll be talking to the guys from Data Wallet. So there we go. Welcome, everybody. When does the SEC decide on Ethereum? I think it's supposed to be, it's Monday. For the rest of you guys, Monday here in New Zealand, still Sunday back in, of course, the United States. But nevertheless, it is underway, guys. So I'm saying refresh the screen, Larks. We'll give the screen a quick refresh there. Where are we doing? It's more red. Yay, it's red. Jurgen says, hi from West Palm Beach. Nice. ETH and Bitcoin are going down. What are you going to do? It's the trends of the market, man. This is the thing, is that something like the SEC deciding something about Ethereum, and I don't think they're going to come out and say, well, Ethereum's a security, therefore no American exchange is allowed to have Ethereum, for example, so Coinbase has to delist Ethereum as an example. I don't think that's going to be the case. Hey, you never know. I'm ready to be surprised at any time. But I don't think that's going to be the situation. I think Ethereum is really an institutional part of the cryptocurrency ecosystem. I would be very surprised if that were to happen, but I'm always ready to be surprised, especially by the SEC. So I guess we shall see how that goes down in the end. Some other updates for you guys as well. Currently, of course, working on the education course. It's a lot of fun on my side. I'm having a great time actually putting it all together. I'm hoping to get that up in the next 3 or 4 weeks, but it's going to be very comprehensive. It's going to come in 2 parts. First part is more of just going to be what is Bitcoin, a lot of tutorials, how to invest in ICOs, information about some of the top crypto projects. And part 2, which will probably come about a month afterwards, will be more focused on trading, how to read charts, different things like this. So that'll be part 2. It's a lot of videos, but it's going to be coming up pretty soon for you guys. So I'm really excited about getting that out for the community, and it'll be a great resource, a free information for people who are coming in to actually be able to use that. So Exodus Wallet, single button click to register. The easier the better, that is for sure. Nick DeGrassi says, if Ethereum is a security, then what should us hodlers expect? Nick, if the SEC comes out and says that Ethereum is a security, what I would expect would be a big drop almost immediately in Ethereum. We might even see some serious lows for Ethereum as a lot of people get kind of freaked out about the potential for Ethereum. But you have to remember, the US is just one country, and although it does account for a very substantial part of the demand for cryptocurrencies, you don't think that the Japanese are going to go, $300 Ethereum. Well, thank you very much. I'll take that. And of course, it'll affect all of the markets, all the altcoins. It'll also affect the Bitcoin market. It would be a fairly big bump on the roller coaster ride of crypto. But of course, it would not mean the end for Ethereum, nor would it mean the end for cryptocurrencies. So I would love to see a gigantic dip on Ethereum and, get some sweet, I don't know, 150, $200 Ethereum, $300 Ethereum. Again, go back to the long, long, long ago of like 3 weeks ago when Ethereum was like 350 or whatever it got down to. So Alex says, you didn't answer my question. I need to borrow $12,000. Got my eyes on a fine horse. What are you talking about, man? What are you talking about, Felix? There you go. Okay, anyway, we're going to jump in first and actually talk about my portfolio as a starting point, and then we'll see how much time I have left after that, and we'll talk a bit about Venezuela and all the other stories that we're going to be getting onto today. So let's go ahead and pop this up here on the screen. Aha! Portfolio! Whoa! Okay, so let's talk about the portfolio, because I know a lot of you guys have been asking, and look, this is, far from a perfect portfolio. Everybody has to make their own decisions, do your own research, find the things that you like. I think that is really important for you guys to keep in mind. This is just what, based on my research, I have actually come up with. And so these are the projects that I like, the projects that I believe in, and I'm going to go through and tell you kind of why my portfolio is in such areas. And look, I talk about a lot of cryptocurrencies on this channel. I think I've reviewed nearly 200 of them now, which is a lot. It's a lot of coins, guys. And it takes a lot of research. And, some of them I really love. And there's a lot of coins that I've never invested in that I like. There's some that I would still like to invest in that might be added to my portfolio at some point in the near future. And I know, everyone's going to look at this and go, well, Lark, why haven't you invested in my favorite coin? I see big value in this other coin. Why haven't you invested in it? You're crazy, you're dumb, whatever it might be. Like I said, these are the ones that I have decided I find value in. And so I'm just going to go through and tell you why I think I find value in these certain coins, or tokens, as some of them may be, and just kind of give you an idea of how I've built out my portfolio. So, starting off with Bitcoin. Bitcoin makes up about 20% of the portfolio. It used to be a bigger number, but unfortunately, all of these altcoins have really moved up quite a bit, and they've kind of started to take over a dominant position in the portfolio as I haven't been adding enough in. McDouble no pickle. All you're missing is nulls. Oh, actually, that's a good point. I've actually got nulls I technically do own some nulls at the moment, but I've got it on a sell order waiting for it to move up a little bit, so I'm not going to be in nulls for a long-term position, but a shorter-term position. Nick says, no Dragon Chain. I'm a big Dragon Chain fan, too, actually. I quite like Dragon Chain, but what do you do? Okay, so the first one, of course, has got to be Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I think, has got amazing long-term potential, but I know that a lot of people out there, and I think I mentioned this in the last live stream, is that, you look at Bitcoin and you go, it's so boring. Other cryptocurrencies are so much more exciting and offer so much bigger potential for gigantic sick gains moving forward. And that's cool. But I think it's like, I look at my Bitcoin as like a cornerstone, like this, foundation of the rest of my cryptocurrency portfolio that kind of just holds everything together. And so I'm really, I was even been thinking recently, gosh, I really need to put a little bit more into Bitcoin, to be honest. Just to kind of pump that up a little bit, but I am, I've got mining coming in, so it does, trickle in over time and it continues to move up a little bit. But Bobby Deluxe says, if you have Bitcoin, then you must have Bcash. I do not have any Bitcoin Cash anymore. I've sold it quite a while back, actually, and I haven't even cashed out for my Bitcoin Gold yet. It's still sitting there, or my Bitcoin Diamond, or any other forks that have or will happen. I haven't cashed any of those out yet. They're just sitting there. Maybe I missed out on my Bitcoin Gold and should have cashed that out, but what are you going to do? Too many things to do, I don't know, to get my free money, I guess. But the Bitcoin Cash, I did have some Bitcoin Cash, and I sold it a couple months back. So there you go. Now, the second one, Cardano. Now, look, I was lucky, and I know we were talking about it right after Cardano came out, and some people were saying it was so crazily overvalued at, I think it was like 2.5 cents at the time, and I was just going, oh my gosh, I have to get as much of this as possible now. And so I really tried to. I really tried to actually stock up on Cardano. I love the long-term prospect of Cardano. I think that Charles Hoskinson is an amazing frontman for Cardano, but actually I like how he's not the only personality involved. They really push a lot of other people onto stage to talk about Cardano, and they've been doing a lot of really interesting things recently. So I'm very bullish on the future of Cardano. And even now it's at 35 cents or something. It's still a decent buy, even though it has moved up quite a bit in price. You got to remember, Cardano was at like $1.25, $1.30 approximately in USD, of course, in the recent past, back in January, December. So it still has a lot of room going forward, and I think we'll maintain a position as a top cryptocurrency for a long, long time. Very bullish on Cardano. The next one, Tomo Chain, or as we all like to call it, FOMO Chain. Now look, I've added a little more into my portfolio on FOMO recently. On FOMO, really, it's a slip of the tongue there. But yeah, on Tomo Chain recently, I think it's got great perspective. I'm not going to be holding all my Tomo Chain, I should say, until, the cows come home. I do have sort of a more strategic interest in it. And so I'm going to definitely be taking profits on Tomo Chain as it continues to grow at some strategic points that I've set. So I will be slowly moving out of that position over time. It's not like with Bitcoin, for example, that's super long hold, Cardano super long hold. I will be keeping some Tomo Chain for a very, very long time, but there will be a certain percentage of that I'll be looking to, cash out on, take the profits from, get my investment back, right? And then, of course, maybe take some more profits out and, I don't know, buy a bottle of wine or something, something like that, right? So it's a situation where you got to not be afraid to necessarily take those profits. And look, Tomo Chain's still big time undervalued too, in my opinion. And I think that it has got massive potential to be sort of a easily $10 to $20 cryptocurrency by the end of the year. A lot of potential for it, and still only trading on IDEX, really. So keep an eye out for Tomo Chain. Next up, Neo. Neo is one I've been, basically adding to on most dips when I've seen dips. I got it back in there. T. McConaughey says, I thought you'd have metal. Did I forget? I got metal. Metal's on there. Metal's on there, man. It's over there. by Litecoin and IATC and IOTA. Metal's on there, man. We'll get to it in a few minutes, though. But Neo's one that I always try and add in on significant dips. Now, look, I was lucky. I was able to get a decent portion of Neo back when it was, I think it was like $7 or something. I got a decent portion then, but I've been adding to ever since then. I got it at 30 and 35, and then it went up to 50, and everybody said, oh my gosh, I think I even bought something like 45 around that time during the first big pump. And then, of course, came back down, added a little bit more, and so I think Neo's got amazing long-term potential. So, there you go. Oh, McDouble No Pickle says, guess what, Lark? They included Canada and New Zealand in the not to participate in Quark Chain ICO. No. Can't pull a New Zealand card. Man. Oh well, whatever. That's okay. Honestly, with the Quark Chain ICO, it's so oversubscribed at the moment. And I know it's going to do really well when it gets to exchanges, but yeah, I don't think there's going to be, with only $4 million left and like 65, 70,000 people in the Telegram. Yeah. What are you going to do? DJ Sadowski says, I can't believe your stellar stack is so small. Well, we'll get to that in a few minutes. But this is the thing. It's, well open for criticism. Like I said, this is just my portfolio and the way that I've developed my portfolio. It's up for you guys to, think about diversification, think about the reasons for why you add things in your portfolio. And, again, I'm not talking about my portfolio today to say, look how cool guy I am. No, it's not about that. It's about these are the reasonings behind the things that I have and why I've got the things that I have and why I think they're important to have in my portfolio and what I want from them. So Neo, it's a long-term hold. I love generating that gas. I think as a strategic asset, again, great long-term. Icon, man, can't get enough Icon. Icon has been at great lows recently as well. Of course, we saw it at much higher prices only a couple of months ago. So there you go. I think Icon's great. I think Icon's got an awesome future. And Spike says, Lark, why no credits? Why no hacking? Again, guys, if you're just joining into the chat, I invest in a lot of stuff, and it's hacking is one I've gone back and forth. Should I invest in it? Should I not invest in it? Meh. Don't know. Credits, I don't know. Just, I wasn't super impressed by credits when I did my ICO review of it. And look, they've been doing okay since then, and I haven't really had a chance to look back into it. And, to be honest, you can only spend so much time and so much money on so many projects, guys, So it does, there is a bit of that, it's simply not a case of, oh, I hate this cryptocurrency. No. There's only so much room and so much money, of course, to go around for any portfolio, guys. That is well worth remembering. Okay, Icon massive. It's a long-term hold for me. I'm not even considering getting rid of Icon for a very long time because they're just getting started and they've got a very awesome team and a lot of amazing partnerships. That brings us to Zilliqa. Man, Zilliqa, I love Zilliqa. I think they're, again, a super bullish. You can notice there's a lot of platforms here, by the way. Zilliqa, awesome potential moving forward with their sharding, high transactions per second. This is one, again, I was lucky. I was able to pick it up on the recent dip for around 4 cents. So I was able to get a decent bag. And so I'm going to be holding that decent bag for quite a while. But I do have my sell points set. I may not hold all of my Zilliqa forever. I think this is another one where I'm going to be looking at it and going, okay, well, when it hits certain points, I'm going to start taking those profits out. And you notice some of these are longer term holds where I don't know, I'll think about when to get out at some point in the future. But for example, with Zilliqa, I've already got my goals in mind for Zilliqa, and I will start to move parts of my position out anyway. Potentially not all of it, of course, but parts of my position out to, of course, take back the initial investment, but also, of course, to take a nice chunk of profits and then, move on and reinvest in other things from there. Next up, PivX. Man, I love PivX. And actually, PivX is really my only privacy coin. I've got Navcoin down there, too. I just got a little bit of that, and we'll talk about it when we get to it. But PivX is really the privacy coin that I'm most bullish on. I love what PivX does. I like the technology behind it. I like the branding. I like the community. I'm a big fan of it. So, and of course, the staking is nice. So that's another bonus as well. So yeah, definitely a nice long-term hold for me. PivX, I think, has got a great future moving ahead. So, Barizia says, oh, the same guys from last week's live chat. Have you given Typerium a look yet? I think I opened up the website and looked at it for like a couple minutes, but I think that was about it, man. Sorry, just so many ICOs, so many projects. It's a crazy, absolutely crazy, guys. And that's another part of it. I really look into some of these and think, gosh, I spend a lot of time thinking about pulling that trigger on any given cryptocurrency. Even if I review them, I might think about them for a few weeks afterwards and think, yeah, all right, maybe I don't want to get it now. Maybe I want to wait for it to go lower. It's a patience game, guys. A lot of it's a patience game. So, okay. Next up, we have EOS. EOS. EOS is great. I like EOS a lot. I've taken profits recently on EOS when it was like $21 and, moved it from there into a few other investments, but I'm still holding a pretty decent chunk of EOS. I think it's got great long-term potential. And of course, I think we'll see a lot of hype running up to the actual mainnet launch when that finally happens after the 1-year ICO finishes. But there you go. I hold PivX and Bitcoin private. I've got Bitcoin private too. It has fork coins, man. Need to actually cash those out someday and, sell them and buy something else. But I've got it. I've got my Bitcoin private. Just haven't actually got it yet. Okay. Up to the next one. We are on to Wanchain. Wow. Wanchain. Again, awesome long-term potential. I think this is one I was lucky to get in, and I hope a lot of you guys were as well, to get in at an earlier stage. And so, awesome long-term potential. I think the team is really strong. I've met, both Dustin and I can't remember his name, the founder as well, and they're both, really smart, really personable. I think they've got a great potential. Of course, having good personality isn't an indicator, but I think their passion and charisma and enthusiasm for Wanchain is, to a certain extent infectious. And, yeah, I'm holding on to my Unchained for quite a while. I think it's just getting started. Remember, it was only like $3 about 6 weeks ago, and so it's moving really well at the moment. Kalana asks, can you get Bitcoin forks if your stuff is on exchanges? It depends on the Bitcoin fork, to be honest. Sometimes they will issue it. If your Bitcoin is sitting on an exchange, you may get issued once in a while with it, but it depends on the exchange. I know that almost no one supported the Bitcoin private fork. Most people supported Bitcoin Cash, even if it took them a while to credit that to people's accounts. The best thing, of course, if there's an upcoming Bitcoin fork, you should have your Bitcoin in the wallet that you control the private keys of, because then you are sure that you will be able to get your fork at some point. Otherwise, you're waiting on a system which may never give you that fork coin. Daniele Brinciotti, what do you think about Deviant Coin Exchange? First, oh, what happened there? First time hearing about it, man. First time hearing about Deviant Coin Exchange. So I have no idea, man. To be honest, no idea. Okay, next up we've got Ethos. Ethos. I like Ethos a lot. I like the universal wallet that's going to be coming up. I can't wait to actually see it. This is going to be super awesome when it does come out. But again, I think this is one that I've been holding on to for a while. And, I'm really waiting to see certain price points come through for Ethos. And then I think I'll start, slowly moving out of my position on that one. Holding a certain percentage for a nice long term. But also really, I've got those kind of more medium term sights set up for that. Shaddad Lofty says, why don't you have Ethereum? I do have Ethereum. Have I not put it on the list here? I missed that when I was making this up for you guys earlier. Anyway, I do have some Ethereum on here. I don't have a giant amount of Ethereum at the moment. I've been buying other things with it on the kind of recent highs, and then I'll be adding back in more when I see some the profits come through on some of those investments. So, Jam Soul, any reason why you're not holding any smart cash? Never bought any. That's why I'm not holding it. I don't dislike smart cash, but I've never been so enthused about it that I went and clicked that buy button, basically. It's not that I don't like it, though. Just that I never got super into it. So, there you go. Okay, next up we've got Quantum. Wow, I love Quantum. Quantum is one that I want to keep adding into. And I have been adding into it a little bit recently. Sort of around the $20 range has been pretty good, $15, $16 range. So I think this is one that can easily be one of those $100 coins by the end of the year. They've got so many dApps being built on them. Some of them are really, really exciting. Like Certic is going to be a Quantum dApp, and that's going to be really cool when that comes out. So they're working in the background, guys. Don't forget about Quantum without a doubt. Spencer asks, is there any position that you have bailed out of entirely in the recent past? Yes, there has been a couple. I bailed out of Stratus, and I've bailed out of Lisk in the recent past. With Stratus, I just kind of got to the point where I was, you know what, I've made profit on it, so I'm moving out of it. Deep Brain Chain was actually another one that I got and, made some decent profits on, but actually I consolidated and moved on to something else. Lisk as well. I only had a little bit of Lisk, and I was thinking, well, should I just, hold on to it for kind of ever and just see what happens? It's not that I dislike Lisk. I actually quite like Lisk, but I just thought, you know what? I've only got a small portion of it. I could just do the Hail Mary shot and hold on to it for ages. But I got rid of it and now moved it into something that I kind of wanted to buy a little bit more of, so I actually bought some more Quantum with the Lisk here recently, so I made some decent profit on the Lisk and converted that into another coin. Maybe that'll be the wrong call in the long run, but I wanted to actually consolidate more of another position and move out of a position that I just really didn't have all that much of at the start. So, Crypto Zombie in the house. What's up, man? How's it going? Welcome to the party. Crypto Zombie says, almost perfect portfolio, but clearly not enough Dogecoin. No Digibyte, no Deep Onion. Nope, neither of those ones, man. Neither of those ones. Aeon. I really like Aeon. Talking to Matt Spoke in the recent interview. Wow, that is absolutely something that gave me a lot of confidence in the project. I was already really bullish on Aeon. I think Aeon's got really awesome long-term potential as they start to get more and more business and people start to, pick up a bit on what Aeon is, and it starts to get more partnerships. I think Aeon's going to be a big one long-term, but actually talking to Matt Spoke, it just made me go, wow, this is awesome. That's something that, I hope you guys really enjoy these interviews. I know I do quite a few interviews, and you got to remember, guys, none of the interviews that I do are sponsored, unless it's an ICO thing, and then I always tell you guys it's sponsored, but I just love it because it provides such awesome information for the community. There's no better way to find out about the people behind a project than to actually put them on a camera and ask them questions. And, when I talked to Matt Spoke, I just went, yep, Aeon, great project. And I think I went and bought some more, a couple hours later because, it gave me that confidence in it, so... Frank Lee asks, do you know if I really need to register my EOS coins? Do you think that really matters? Frank, yes, I think that really matters. They've written so many articles about it and have all these warnings all over the EOS website that you have to register your tokens. If you haven't registered your tokens yet, you're in trouble, man. Register your tokens. Don't take it as a not serious thing. Do it and get it registered. I think that probably quite a few exchanges will be handling the mainnet swap, so that's a potential. But you have to check on your individual exchange and see if that is going to be the case or not, okay? Ryan asks, where's your Ripple? Not a Ripple fan, man. More of a Stellar guy, myself. Which brings us up to, we'll talk about Stellar next, then we'll hop back to Nexus, actually. Big Stellar Lumens fan. I know it's only a small percentage of the portfolio overall. It's about 1.5% of my portfolio. So... I think it is something that I'll keep adding into as time moves on. It's an easy sort of $5 coin in, the midterm, I would say. It's going to take a little bit of time to get there, but I really, really like it. Fabio says, I thought you were paid to promote, but you were an honest YouTuber. Yeah, Fabio, like I said, man, it's all these interviews that I do. None of that stuff's sponsored, guys. It's just me trying to deliver, great content and great information for the community. And of course, it's really awesome for me too. I gotta remember that. It's like getting to speak to actually like Matt spoke, like, wow, I'm an investor in Aeon. Here I am getting to talk to, the founder or the lead developer. And that's, it's amazing for me, but then it's amazing for you guys because you guys get to benefit from that awesome information too. So I hope you guys really enjoy, those interviews. A lot of work goes into doing those interviews, actually, again, because every time you do it, you got to go read the white paper and all this stuff and actually try and get good questions that are going to be more than just, tell me how awesome you are, Matt. Yes. No, you actually got to give some real questions and get some real information from them. Otherwise, I don't think it's good value for me. It's not good value for you guys either. So, it's important for me to deliver good value with these interviews. So, okay. Next up, Nexus. Nexus, I really like Nexus. I like what they're trying to do. I think Colin Cantrell is, really a great mind in the space. So I think it's really cool to see what they're developing. We do need to see more developers working on Nexus. Right now, the team is rather small. They have got really big ambitions, and I like big ambitions, and I hope they can pull it off. But I love the idea behind Nexus. I like the idea of putting satellites in space and the three-dimensional blockchain and all of this stuff. So, Patrick Lim, no request network. Sad face. Patrick, I've got request network. It's hiding under my head here, man. Right there. There's the request network. So, I'll be talking about that momentarily. Elastos. I love Elastos. Seriously. I think this is one of those ones that still hasn't been getting the attention that it needs to be getting. But it is an awesome project with great team, big ambitions, and I think that the ambitions behind them are just, it's going to take Elastos to great places. They've got big investment as well, so it's one that I want to add more into. And so it's one that has positions that I think I'm going to be consolidating while the price is still relatively low for it. Gustavo says, Lark, seal ICO. Any comments? I've tried many times, but the KYC wasn't working. Gustavo, I would recommend that you go to the Telegram group and ask them about it. So that's the best place to get the information about why the KYC isn't working. So that's, go and check that out. World Veller, can you please elaborate on why you decided to have Tomo as 11% of your portfolio? It didn't start off as 11% of my portfolio, but it's just grown so much that that's, the value of it at the moment. It's like Cardano. When I started off with Cardano, it also wasn't, 11% of my portfolio. It was much smaller, and then it grew into something bigger. So, Randy Q asks, Lark, where did you buy your Elastos? Over on Huobi. Huobi is where I was picking up my Elastos. Do Elastos deserve 1% dominance at the whole market? Potentially more. Potentially more. I think it'll be really interesting to see how they deliver in the future. So, Robert asks, dang, he's got all the coins. From the comments section, I would say that I do not have all the coins. There's so many coins I do not have, actually. And it's, again, a lot of situations is not because I don't like what they're doing. I like, some of these projects, I love the teams behind them. I like what they're doing. Just haven't invested. Either lack of funds or, yeah. There you go. DJ Sadowski, wow, no Civic Lark with all the KYC stuff. I'm a little surprised. I was a little more, I did used to have Civic a long time ago and sold it for only a slight profit and then just kind of moved on. Actually, Pixio Chain is a much more interesting thing for me. And so I like what Pixio Chain is doing. Also, of course, working on, data and the monetization of your data and things like this. So anyway, not in a Civic. What are you going to do? Okay, next up, Power Ledger. Actually, I quite like the Power projects anyway, the Power tokens. You can see I'm in Power Ledger, Electrify Asia, and WePower. So WePower I've been in since the ICO, working, of course, sitting around waiting for that bag to mature and to do something in the near future. Electrify Asia as well. I think it's going to be, for me, Electrify Asia is going to be one of those ones where I've got a sell point set in my mind, basically, and I'm going to get out there and be happy with the profits that I made. So it's not going to be one that I'm going to be holding on to necessarily for years. I might keep a small percentage, but I think I'll probably sell the majority of my holding in Electrify Asia and then move on from there. Power Ledger, a little, I'm quite bullish on Power Ledger, so I'll probably be holding on to that a bit longer term and, cash it out one day for something nice at some point in the future, but I'll kind of just decide when that happens, basically. Nem, our old buddy Nem. Now, a lot of you guys might be surprised. I'm a Nem enthusiast. I really like what the Nem blockchain does. But it's only about 1% of my portfolio. So it's a small percentage. But I do like it. I like having it there. I think that the guys over at Nem do cool stuff. So, Michael Terisi. Michael, you missed out about the nulls conversation. I've got some nulls. I didn't actually add it on here for some reason, but it's actually it's on a sell order, so it's gonna be sold at some point in the future when it gets to the point that I wanted to. But yeah, I didn't list it on here for some reason, but I do have some nulls. Okay, next up, Binance token. Now, Binance token, of course, considering that Binance continues to do well in the future. Decent long-term investment, and of course, it's nice to have it to get that 50% off your fees. So why wouldn't you have it? Komodo. Decentralized ICO. The first one has just come up. I hope it goes off really well. I hope we see a lot more really good decentralized ICOs coming up for Komodo. Yetka Gulin asks, why is Electrify Asia not a long-term hold? Sad face. That's just my personal decision. And you have to remember, guys, these are my personal opinions, personal decisions, not financial advice, of course. Just a dude talking about cryptocurrencies on the internet. But for me, Electrify Asia, I looked at it and I think, you know what? That's a great opportunity. I like where they're going. I like what they're doing. And I'm going to, like I said, probably sell most of my position when it gets to a certain level. And so that is my plan for that. And that's the thing, guys. Be strategic with what you're investing in. Have a plan when you go in. Really, guys, have a plan when you go in. And, you don't have to hold every single cryptocurrency that you're getting into until the bloody end, right? I know a few guys are asking about nulls here again. I don't dislike nulls. I like nulls a lot. That's why I bought some, and that's why I'm going to, make a nice profit off it, because I think it's got a great future. And when I do get that sell order filled, it will, probably turn a quite nice profit for it. So there you go. Anthony Bertolino says, please address Ethereum. Cheers. We talked about it earlier in the chat, man, so we're not going to be revisiting Ethereum again at this point. Next up, where are we going to move on to? Request Network. Somebody's asking about Request Network. Again, Request Network, I like it a lot. I think it's really cool. I've been invested in it since approximately I did my review on it, which was some months ago. And basically, I've been waiting for it to hit a certain profit point, at which point I'll probably liquidate a lot of my position in it. Reggie Vincent, hello sir, what is your profit target to start taking out profits? I'm a newbie and want to learn in terms of what realistic expectations are. Reggie, the thing you have to ask yourself for a lot of these projects is, what do you want out of them? Your profit target, I think, is a very personal thing as far as what you want to get out of it, right? Do you want to double your Bitcoin, for example? Well, then look for the project that you think is promising, of course, DYOR, and then get in for that. Do you want to make 5%? Making 5% in cryptocurrencies is a relatively easy thing to do. And so if you can move from point to point to point, picking up 5% here and 5% there, you're doing pretty well. Better than a bank account, that's for sure. And so it's up to you to decide where you think these can go, how high you think they can go. Oh man, everybody's here today. We got Seb. It's me, Boss Lady in the house, Crypto Brad. Welcome, 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 everybody. Super excited to see all you guys out here, by the way. Really great to have all you guys hanging out in here. Now, you really have to have a strategy, guys, because I know some people get into cryptocurrency investing and have no strategy at all. Or they go into trading and they don't have a strategy, right? That's way more dangerous. At least with investing, if you don't have a strategy, it might come out, because I'm very bullish on the cryptocurrency markets overall. But for trading, you definitely got to be doing your homework hardcore. But, find what's good for you. And that's, I think, the most important thing with setting your targets. I know what targets I have, and I have different targets on different coins. I think that is something very important to remember, too. Some things to look at and go, hey, you know what? That's something that I might go for 50% gain on. Then I would move out of it and be happy with it and move on and, really just be okay and take that profit and either cash it out or move on to something different. So, Alan V, any opinions on Certic? Shh, stop telling people about Certic. Certic's cool, man. I like it. I've only kind of had a little bit of a dig into it. I haven't had enough of a dig into it, but I really like the whole idea behind Certic, and I think looking at the rumblings and the kind of hype that's slowly starting to build up around it, I think this is going to be one to definitely keep an eye on and watch out for, guys. Nick DeGrassi, the true secret is throw money at everything and hope for the best, lol. Yeah. Okay. So, DJ Sadowski says, decentralized exchanges, no loop ring, no 0x. What do you know, Lark? Please explain. DJ Sadowski, no, for no particular reason, actually. I did have some loop ring and got in, sold it at a profit later on, moved into a different position, which has turned out to be a good decision in the long term. Well, in the short term anyway. Maybe the long term, loop ring is going to go up to like $20. I'm like, no, I just sell my loop ring. But I'm okay with that because, that's the decision that I made at the time. I love DEXs. 0x is one of those ones I think's got really big potential moving forward. I know they've been getting a lot of rumblings. The Neon Exchange, Switch.io, even Aphelion. Aphelions delivered the wallet. We still have to see the decentralized exchanging function out of the Aphelion wallet, but that has been delivered, which is nice. So, no, I love DEXs. And Binance is going to be a DEX. Don't forget that. Binance is going to be a DEX, guys. So keep an eye on that. Do not count Binance DEX out. That's going to be awesome when they get it going. Binance, man, it's just one of the, just from strength to strength to strength. Let's hope they keep doing well. Now, where are we up to next? IOTA. Oh my gosh, IOTA. Okay, so. Oh, does Kyber or Blocknet seem interesting to you? Asked Nectagross. Actually, I had some Kyber and kind of sold it on the recent enthusiasm around, some of the things that were happening. But I love using Kyber network. Big fan. Trading straight out of your Ethereum wallet, having coins delivered straight back into your Ethereum wallet. Love it. Kyber Network's really cool, super user-friendly. If you haven't used Kyber Network yet, unfortunately, they do have only a small listing of coins at the moment. Man, it is really super friendly to use. I'm a big fan of Kyber Network, and I can't wait to see it be even more user-friendly and have more coins listed on it. It'll start being like one of my go-tos. I actually already use it quite a bit when I want to sell or trade the coin pairings that they have. Of course, like I said, still a small amount of coins listed, which is an unfortunate part. But anyway, IOTA, we gotta talk about IOTA. IOTA, if I can ever get my IOTA out of my IOTA wallet, I'm going to sell it. Honest opinion, guys. And I think that IOTA's got some great forward potential, but for me, it's just a situation of, I don't know, I've probably spent, I don't even want to think about how many hours I've spent trying to get my IOTA out of my wallet. And it just, to me, I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to take my profits and move on to something else. And I think IOTA does have some decent long-term future. And as the network grows, it will become more stable and the wallets will improve in the future, et cetera, et cetera. But I've had enough of IOTA. I think I'm gonna move on in the near future when I can get it out. It's still trapped there. Smarks killed wrestling. Why don't you have Neblio? Smarks may have, I think I've said this 3 or 4 times now, but if I don't have your favorite coin or a coin that you like, it's not because I don't necessarily, dislike it like Neblio. Neblio's fine, man. I got no problems with Neblio. I've just never invested in it. That's the only reason I don't have it, is I never invested in it, but I think it's a decent one. It's me, Boss Lady. BitShares is a decentralized exchange that's been around for years. I want to love it, but it's just not very user-friendly. I totally agree with you, 100%. I feel the exact same way about BitShares. BitShares was the first decentralized exchange that I used, and it's so unuser-friendly, it's ridiculous. Ether Delta was the second decentralized exchange that I used, and then when you fast forward to like Kyber Network, and it's like, oh, it's so great. It's so easy to use, which is absolutely awesome. Seb says, I've heard that Stellar have a stellar team. Love it, man. Love it. Okay. Oh man, I'm so glad I only tried the wallet with 1 IOTA. Sorry to hear your funds are stuck in that piece of manure. It's okay. It's like forced hodling, man. I just hope that by the time it comes out, it'll, be worth something still. I'm sure it will be. I think IOTA's got a promising future. They've got a lot of great partnerships, but IOTA. Let's move on to the next one. Metal. Metal is one of those token projects that I really like what they're doing. I like the enthusiasm of the team, and I think if they can start to, really get some adoption, could be a really great project long term. So it's kind of one of those, I don't know, to an extent, shot in the dark kind of cryptos. I've got a decent little bag of it, and I'm just waiting for it to, kind of make a moonshot. I think it will. I think Metal's got the right stuff. We've seen, of course, the Metal Vault and the app being developed and all this stuff. So, Stefan, involuntary hodling, FTW. I know. Okay, next one is ITC. So what's the proper name of this again? It's like Internet Chain Token, something like the Internet Token Chain. That's right, something like this. Anyway, I like this one, but this is another one of these that really is a situation of I want to see a certain value come out of it, and then I'm going to move out of that position. So it's sort of a medium-term hold. J Bags says, when did you sell BitConnect? Never had BitConnect, man. People who did were crazy. Crazy guys, those BitConnect dudes. It's me, Boss Lady. Kyber Network, you say, Lark. Yes, Kyber Network. You got to check out Kyber Network. I just love their decks. It's so easy to use. It's, it's just awesome. The only problem is it's only ERC20, and it's currently only maybe 15 different coin or tokens. So that's the only problem currently. But it's got some of the big ones on there, so you can get in and get those too. 12 gauge DJ, what is your exit strategy for Nexus? Currently no Nexus exit strategy. I'm waiting to see where it goes. I think that they're going to develop some pretty cool stuff in the future. So it's a chillin' bag. It's a chillin' bag. I'm just going to put that on the shelf and, we'll check back into it at some point in the future. Ash K says, do you have positions in Neo? Up there. 6%. Okay, next up, Litecoin. Litecoin's one that's just kind of hangs out in the background, do a little bit of Litecoin mining, and that's where it comes from. Haven't really bought much Litecoin. I've bought a little bit of it from time to time on certain dips just to add into the position, but not anything massive. It's kind of one of those ones I'm just waiting for Litecoin to make some big moves in the future. But I like Litecoin. I think it's gonna stick around for a while. It's got a good community behind it. Ethereum's awesome. I don't have very much of it at the moment. As mentioned earlier, I have been buying some things recently, so I will look to add back into my Ethereum position. Just to have around as like a strategic asset. You got to have it sitting there. So, Finbarius, what is the Bitcoin percent? Up there on the screen. 20%. 20%, man. Now, Ethereum's one you kind of just need to have a little bit around at any given time because you always need it to invest in an ICO, for example. And of course, it's fast and cheap to move from point A to point B. And a lot of exchanges will have a lot of pairings for Ethereum as well. So it makes it pretty easy to use as something to buy other tokens with as well. Nick DeGrassi says, I think Litecoin is making good steps to adoption, which is really what is necessary for cryptocurrency projects. Yeah. Litecoin's a good one, man. It's just a solid one. That's why I'm quite happy to just pile it up in the background. And I just, don't sell it. It just kind of hangs out. So, crypto is taking a nosedive live now. Da-da-da. Yeah, it does that. It's crypto, man. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I think maybe some people are freaked out by the SEC hearing tomorrow. Market jitters. Yeah. Ooh, Cianok Movement says, mind if I shill a coin that I believe is the biggest secret in crypto? Go for it, man. Let's know what the biggest secret in crypto is. Okay. Sonum is one I've been into for a long time, and it's again one of those ones I really like. Sonum, I like what they're doing. I think they got a great team. They're building an Ethereum sidechain. It's awesome. I can't wait for that inevitable moonshot. I just feel like it's going to happen at some point. Wake up and Sonum's like, it's up like 300%. Yes. Of course, it's been slowly building over time. So how will we move forward? Frank Lee asks, how do we invest in ICOs if we are in the United States? Frank, it's an unfortunate situation to be US based, man, because there are not many you can invest in. There are a couple of ICOs that do come up that you're able to invest in. Dragon Chain offers ICOs that are available for US citizens to invest in. So, you can always find those there, but you just don't get very many. The one thing that I can say about American investors who do want to get involved in a particular ICO, the best thing you can probably usually do is wait for them to come to like IDEX. Anybody can use IDEX. It's a decentralized exchange. You can go there and really usually pick up some gems pretty early on. Like if you picked up Tomo Chain on IDEX in the first couple of days that was on there, you would have done very well. You wouldn't have got it for ICO price, but you would have done very well. So, unfortunately, that is the situation that we have at the moment for that. Nebulous is another one of those ones I've been in for a while, and I'm just kind of waiting for it to move forward. I think they've got, Hitters Zhu is definite name in the space. Stellar dude. Good connections in China. This could be a big one. I'm holding on to that bag for a while and see what happens. Singularity Net, also a big fan. Waves is something I moved into a little more recently. I think it could be something that could be quite big. They're bringing out smart contracts now, which is nice to see. So we'll have to see where Waves goes, but it's getting a lot of partnerships and a lot of use cases, and it's the Ethereum of Russia, guys, because every country's got an Ethereum. Okay. JBags asks, Lark, are you looking to take positions in Hashgraph and Quark Chain when available? So much hype surrounding those projects. I don't know. Hashgraph, don't know. Quark Chain, hard to say. They're only selling for like $4 million of Quark Chain in the sale. Remember, 16 million's gone to the private sale, and that's going to create some huge demand considering there's 65,000 people in the Telegram. The community's massive. The hype is out of control. I don't know. We'll see. Probably, I don't know. I'll decide when it happens. Decide when it happens, I guess. But yeah, Quark Chain. What are you gonna do? Anyway, besides the point. Moving on. Next up, we have got Universa. Universa is one that I got into at the ICO quite a while back. I think it's done rather well since the ICO, but we'll have to see. They haven't really been communicating very much. Most of their social media is just like, I don't know, retweeting other stuff. So I don't know. We'll see what Universa comes up with here in the future. So, Crypto Wolverine, VeChain mainnet really soon. You know, VeChain, one of those ones I missed out on. That happens sometimes too, guys. And there's so many opportunities coming in cryptocurrencies all the time. Don't be like terrified to miss out on an opportunity every once in a while, because that's okay too, to be honest. You know, VeChain's one I just missed out on, and that's okay. I was buying other things at the time. You know, there's only so much fiat to go around at any given time, and there's only so many gains that you make off cryptocurrencies to put back into it. So, yeah, I mean, when I reviewed VeChain, I think it was like 24 cents or something like that. And I was thinking at the time, like, should I buy VeChain? Yeah, I'll put it on my list of things to get, and just never got to the top of that list. And, you know, hey, hindsight's 2020, right? But I don't feel bad that I missed out on VeChain, because I got into other opportunities that have done well too. So, you know, it's all about finding the opportunities that you think work best for you. So, by the way, I am planning on doing some Where Are They Now videos for you guys. So I'm hopefully in the next week or so, I'll get a video out on VeChain, Omisego, Icon, Waves, maybe EOS. I might wait for after the mainnet for EOS, but just kind of give you an update where they are now, what they're doing, etc. Online billings. No, fiat is endless. That's the problem. Well, fiat is endless, but it's not endless for, the average Joe, we can say. If you're the government and you're buying up cryptocurrency, just keep printing money forever. Anyway. Okay, Genesis Vision, I think good, bullish, long-term position on Genesis Vision. Even though I've only got a small bag of it, I'm going to be holding on to that small bag. I plan on actually, using their platform when we get more traders on the Genesis Vision platform. I would like to put some into that. J-Bags, thanks for the contribution, man. Much appreciated indeed. So, definitely be cool to see how we can actually let that play out on Genesis Vision. I think it's great because I know a lot of people out there, they want to trade. They see the gains made from trading, and they want to be involved, but they don't know how to do it. And so I can't wait to test out their platform when it does come out. I think I'll use the Genesis Vision that I do have to test the platform when we see some more traders on there with some better histories that have been built up. Because the alpha's out now. You can actually go check the alpha out for Genesis Vision at the moment. Ian Worley, I believe the meeting in the USA today about Ethereum is just a working group discussion. Really don't think there'll be enough bosses there to make any sort of decision as to whether it's security. I would be very surprised, guys, like I said, if it came out and they said it's a security. So there you go. There you go. Okay, next one up. Omisego. Omisego is one that I wish I had bought more of in the past. I got into Omisego originally, and I still basically have most of it from then. I have added in a little more on my position over time, but mostly the Omisego that I have now is what I've had for quite a while, actually, when it was like super cheap comparatively. And yeah, I like it. I like what Omisego is doing. Good long-term hold one. I don't have a sell price set on that in my mind yet. Winding Tree. Winding Tree has been one of those disappointing ICOs. Has kind of gone down significantly in value since the ICO, which is unfortunate. Bad timing in the market, but what are you going to do? You can't win them all, guys, either, so. Trying Turbo Man, I stepped away a bit. Why are you not adding Stellar to your portfolio? Just curious. Turbo Man, I do have Stellar in my portfolio, and I will be adding more Stellar to my portfolio in the future. So I like Stellar. I think it's a great project, and I've been adding in, and I plan on adding more, especially while it's still what in my mind for Stellar is cheap. So there will be more Stellar added to my portfolio in the future. So I certainly just haven't had a chance to accumulate as much as I want yet, but there will be more coming. Anyone hoping to trade in and out of EOS, better mind the airdrop snapshots. EOS stack was the first of many. This is true, Chuck A. There will be many airdrops from holding EOS tokens. So that's something to consider. Liquid, no Elastos, Mr. Are you guys looking at the screen? Is it not? It's behind my head. Elastos right here. I like Elastos. Big fan. Okay, next up, Navcoin. Navcoin is one also that I've had for ages. I really like Navcoin. It's a New Zealand-based project. Kind of bit of patriotism. New Zealand! But, I would like to see that cool development moving forward. Juicy Vegan Dwarf, right guys, gotta go. It's 4 a.m. here in London. Oh man, get to bed. That's super late, man. Thanks for joining the chat though. So, with Navcoin, it's a privacy coin as well, but I've just got a very small position in Navcoin. Pretty excited to see what they come out with as Valance develops. Somebody says, you don't like Elastos? Where's you guys getting this from? I love Elastos. I think Elastos is great. Sterling, just copy Lark's portfolio. I see a lot of you guys are joining into the chat late, so if a lot of the questions have already been answered earlier on, so things like why is there so much Tomo chain? We talked about that way earlier. We're almost done talking about the portfolio here. Sebfox, why don't you have the coin that is clearly listed as being in your portfolio on the chart behind you? Just a bad chart, man. That's that's the problem. Anyway, Horizon State. Horizon State is one I've been in for a while, and I really, really like Horizon State, guys. I've reached out to Jamie, and we're gonna get him back on the show to talk about what they're doing in Indonesia. This whole project with, what they're doing on the island of Sumatra, and the big partnership with what's this? One of the biggest socio-religious groups in the world in Indonesia. So I think it's going to be really cool to, as a long-term hold. I like what they're doing. I like the idea. I like the focus of what Horizon State's doing. It's a project that I really believe in, and I'm happy to be holding that as a nice long-term one. Steam is one that just kind of accumulates on the side, through upvotes and stuff like that, so it just hangs out over there. Comsa is one I'm very disappointed in. I would love to get rid of my Comsa, but I can't get signed up for the Xife exchange, and it's the only place where it's listed, so Comsa. A lot of people asking about Zebi. Zebi, I honestly have not had time to do more than open the website and look at it for a couple of minutes. I have not had a chance to read the white paper or really dig into it in any substantial way, so I honestly cannot give you guys any real decent opinion on Zebi. I know it's been getting a lot of hype recently. I know a lot of people have been talking about it, but I haven't looked into it enough, guys, so I can't give you really my 2 Satoshis on it when it comes down to it. So Jorge Luki says Zebi is the icon of India. I've heard that, or Zebi is just Zebi. I like that too. Johnny Lenny says, seriously good idea to just copy this portfolio. Well, there's a couple on here that you may not want to copy. Don't copy Comsa. You'll never be able to buy it or sell it, actually, because it's only sold on the Xife exchange. Gas is something I'm quite happy to just let sit long-term. Actually, I've got Aphelion on here, too, but I didn't actually list it on here. I got a little bit of Aphelion during the ICO. I'll probably trade it out when their DEX finally becomes available. I know it's trading on Switch.io at the moment, but I think I'll hold my horses tight until we actually see the DEX launched, because I think that'll be a bit of a push for it, to be honest. Ontology, like Ontology without a doubt. Ontology, I cannot believe the growth of Ontology, to be honest. It's blown me away. Ontology. It's $2, guys. Now it's like $10. Wild. Of course, I think it's going to go up even more. But you got to remember, only a small percentage of the total circulating supply of Ontology is out at the moment. So, anyway, I got my airdrop. I'm going to wait for the other half of my airdrop to come through. And I don't know if I'll buy more Ontology or not. Maybe not. But I'd like to get into the Neo OS ICO when that comes out. Man, that's going to be another just hype through the roof one. I hope they do a lottery like Next did, to be honest. I think that was pretty fair. Even though I didn't get into that lottery, it was a fair thing to do. So, there you go. Okay. And finally, Ethereum Classic. I'm mining Ethereum Classic with Genesis Mining. And then there's some like other random stuff in there. Just like BioCoin and I don't know, some other random stuff that's been like airdropped into my Ethereum address that I don't need or want. Like recently some Tron's been dropped into my Ethereum address for some reason. But anyway, now there is a couple that I do want to say these are the ones that I'm looking at adding into my portfolio here in the near future. And so I'll tell you what those ones are, guys. Matrix AI. This is one that I'm strongly considering adding to my portfolio here in the near future. Now, obviously the time to do that probably would have been closer to back when I had reviewed Matrix AI. It was a little bit closer to the $120 million market cap back then. But I think this is one that's got really awesome potential moving forward. You can still see an easy 5x from here by the end of the year on Matrix AI. You got to remember the liquidity right now for Matrix is still super low, guys. It's on IDEX and Gate.io and Ether Delta at the moment. So keep that real, guys. It is got super low liquidity. When this actually gets up there and hits some bigger exchanges, I think we'll see some real big movement on this, guys. Chuck A says, no Substratum. I did have Substratum for a while. Got it. Sold it at a profit. Moved on, man. Sometimes that's what you got to do with these cryptos. Elf. Elf is one. Big fan. Just reviewed it yesterday. Should have reviewed it sooner. But I like Elf, and I think it's got great forward potential. This could be one of those multi-billion-dollar market cap cryptocurrencies. They're bringing a lot to the table. I think it's probably approximately the appropriate value now, but when we see that mainnet come out and start seeing things built on top of Elf, then we're going to see some big upward price movement, would be my suspicion. So, Elf is definitely one to keep an eye on as well. And these are, definitely one of the ways that I'm thinking about, or one of the ones I'm thinking about getting involved in the near future. And the other is Zencash. Zencash I like from an ideological point of view because I like what they're doing. I like the focus on privacy. I like what they're building with like Zen Pub and Zen Domains and all this different stuff. I like Zencash. And of course, it's got decent staking rewards. They've actually just upped the staking rewards for Zencash. But I haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. But these Matrix AI, Elf, and Zencash would be the ones that I would consider adding to my portfolio next, unless something else comes by to tempt me and, take me off into the wilderness, so to speak. Chuck A says, if the SEC rules Ethereum is a security tomorrow, buy EOS on the downdraft. It's me, Boss Lay, says Zencash is my fave. T, thank you for the contribution, man. Much appreciated. Superman in the house. What's going on, brother? What's going on? Spencer, so many cryptos, so little time. I know how you feel. That's, and that's the thing with my portfolio, guys. It's just my perspective. These are just the things that I found value in. I think the most important thing for you guys when you're building your portfolio, DYOR, that portfolio is the result of, thousands of hours of research, and finding projects, engaging with the communities, sometimes getting to engage with the people behind those communities, which has been an amazing experience and is what, you guys supporting the channel make all these interviews possible, which is awesome, guys. And so I want to thank you guys for, continuing to watch the videos, continuing to hit the like button, comment on the videos, share them around the internet. That makes all the difference, guys. That lets me keep doing what I do, bringing interviews and great information to you guys. So very important stuff. I've gone on for like an hour now. That actually took much longer than I thought it would to talk about my portfolio, but I hope the information was useful for you guys. Think about your strategies, set your sell points, or, if you're into something long term, know why you're in it for long term, right? Don't be afraid to sell some things and take profits from time to time. I know some people just hold things, for way too long, and, don't be afraid to have that strategy where you say, hey, you know what, when it gets to this price point, I'm going to, take 10% out or take 20% out, and, maybe I'll let the rest move on. So, definitely be strategic, guys. Think about it. There's only so much money to go around for any given portfolio. So, it's your money, guys. Make sure you are doing lots and lots of research before you go out and invest in anything, guys. That's the most important thing. You have to believe in these projects. If you don't believe in the project you're investing in, you probably shouldn't be investing in it, because it's not going to end probably well for you guys. So anyway, guys, I know we were going to talk about the petro and all that stuff today, but I see an hour's run by, so we're gonna jump out here from the live stream, I think. But man, this has been a lot of fun. I always love the live stream, guys. You guys are awesome. It's always so much fun getting to come here and talk crypto and have you guys ask all of these exciting questions and put out great information to each other. I see the help that's going on here in the comment section, people talking back and forth to each other. So you guys are awesome. You guys make all this community possible. So keep doing what you guys doing. Keep getting out there, engaging with the community, finding projects that you like, engaging with those projects. So anyway, guys, that is all from the Crypto Lark for today. Long live the blockchain, and peace out till next time, guys.